first guest tonight, we kind of went through the list tonight, but my first guest is going to be a 2006 Harley Davidson. I'm just looking to make sure I got it right. Softail Deluxe. And this bike is actually owned by our very own Jeremy Wynn. And Jeremy will be getting back from out of behind the studio there, and he'll be coming up front. It's actually the bike. A lot of you may have seen it. It's on display here, just about every show in the back here. It'll actually be coming out of the studio here before too long. And I see him creeping up on me over on my right side.
I've had this bike for 8 years, and it was actually the first go-around on this audio system was just before I started here. But I had to have KICKER. But with this motorcycle, like I've already said, it had to be classic car look.
Sure.
And to me, that doesn't include a windshield. That doesn't include a big fairing. I didn't want any of that, so I've had to make do with what I had to work with.
So reality is, and what that's the the interesting conversations you and I have had over the years, there's not a lot of real estate for you to tuck things onto this bike.
No, not at all. And you'd also brought up that I really beforehand I like the bike stripped down, but I have to have music. I love my music. I love having audio. And so I had to figure out how to get it on here. And so I had to think of some pretty interesting ways to make it look right also with the motorcycle.
So tell us what KICKER gear you've incorporated into the bike. What products do you have on here?
So in the front headlight buckets, those are our PS 652s, the 6.5 inch 2 ohm speakers. Then, of course, in the saddlebag lids, the KICKER saddlebag lids are our 6x9 2 ohms, the Power Sports. I have a Bluetooth 100.2 as my my receiver, audio receiver, and then I have a PX 304 as my primary amplifier that's powering the 4 speakers.
Now, what's cool about this, and I'm not trying to lead the witness, but I'm going to lead the witness a little bit. Over here, obviously, you've got tucked up here, and hopefully Tim will get that on camera.
Yep.
That is actually the controller for the PXI, so you don't even have it on the handlebars. You kind of tucked it there under the seat, so you can reach down, you can access and use it, but it's kind of out of the way.
Yep, correct. Again, it was I wasn't trying to add something and throw it up on the handlebars, because this was my show bike. I wanted it just kind of hidden away, but where I could still get to it.
Right. So I'm going to, hopefully, we're going to do a dance here with Tim.
Okay.
So on this side of the bike, obviously we saw the controller on that side, and you showed me this earlier, which is pretty cool. So if you look at the bike, it's like, okay, well, where you have everything. So let's start here. This is where you put the controller for the PXI 100BT, correct?
Yep. And actually, let me grab the keys real quick, and I'll kind of show you little bit of what it took to kind of stuff that thing in there. I actually had to add this toolbox just for some other location whenever I added the Bluetooth 100.2. But yeah, you can see that it took a little bit of finesse on the body of that 100.2 to be able to get it in there, but it fits. After knowing you for 5 years, besides being a classic car enthusiast, besides being really a DIY guy who likes, fabricating and machining and coming up with things from complete scratch, and obviously you found a way to take a toolkit and turn it into a holder for a PXI amplifier. Yep.
The cans that you talked about in the front, and I'm sure Tim already got some good shots on those are actually headlight cans that you turned into speaker pods.
Yep, they are. So those are 5 3/4 inch headlight buckets that I just ordered, like their drag specialty headlight buckets. And then I wanted that sunk down recessed look, so those are rings that allow that speaker to sit down in there, make it look like it sits down in there. But I had to do quite a bit of work to be able to make those look the way they did with mounting those speakers in there.
I remember when you were doing those, and there's a lot of fabrication work that you put into that to get that. I mean, that looks literally like an off the production line part that someone's tooled up and made, and it's a one-off that you assembled.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have accepted any less.
No.
There were quite a bit of attempts, and But so yeah, like the headlight, the rings themselves, I actually ended up pouring a plastic compound that I was able to then drill and tap to be able to mount those speakers into those rings.